Good morning, everybody. Welcome on. I know we've got people still logging on, and my name is Susan Johnson. I'm with Susan Johnson and Associates, and welcome to this Monday's Agent Power Huddle. I just love Mondays because I just love the mindset Monday that we have here on Agent Power Huddle. It's such a great way to start and launch our week. So please turn your cameras on if you're coming on. We've got other people on the call here. What's great about Agent Power Huddle is you can hear these episodes back. So today, if you want to just listen in, I always encourage taking copious notes, but if you're on the road or whatever, you can always listen back to these episodes as I do multiple times throughout the week. We've just got such great information on this show. So again, I'm Susan Johnson and Associates, and today we are going to be talking about taking quantum leaps, not just moving the needle in our business, but quantum leaps. Doesn't that sound great? So quantum leaps in our business, in our personal life, or in any area of our lives, right? There's 10 steps. There's 10 steps to doing this. And these 10 steps are, each one of them can be an episode by itself on Agent Power Huddle. So listen in, listen closely, because I'm going to be dropping one after the other some of these bombs that are just so impactful in our lives and so impactful for your business. So here we go. Step number one, and by the way, this is out of a book. I read this book, a long time ago and it's so good. Quantum Leaps, 10 Steps to Help You Soar, written by Gloria Mayfield Banks. So this is where this comes from. Step number one is make a decision. Make a decision. So leap off the fence of indecision. That's what it comes down to. Go confidently in the direction of what your dreams really are. Okay. So many of us just sit on the fence. Gosh, should I go that? Should I try that? Should I do that? Get off that fence. I see Diana shaking her head. Yes, I think in step number one, I've already dropped that first one, right? So make a decision, but it's so true because here's the thing, guys. You must have a clear direction of where you're going. Many times we have such freedom of choice, which is amazing, but sometimes there can be so many choices it stops us from actually choosing one path. Would you agree with that? And when you have so many choices, you really can't get that clarity. You can't get that focus. So make that decision. Step number one, if you want a quantum leap, make that decision and decide. Once you have made that decision, you're going to be taking action, massive action. You are now in that decision zone, which is step number one. Step number two, and by the way, all these steps go together. And that's why I'm saying taking notes, listening back. Step number two is all about your confidence. Confidence is absolutely huge. By the way, you're going to see I have some notes. If I look down, that's because I could talk to you guys for 2 hours on all this. Seriously, we've got 30 minutes to get it out to you. And we've got a lot going on in our industry. This whole NAR settlement, we're all sharpening skills. We're all taking our business to another level. We're all having to learn. Well, in California, there's like 48 plus new forms. Confidence. Having confidence and being able to present what you're doing, present all this to your clients with confidence is going to be huge, which it always has been, but even more so moving forward. Confidence is the platform to charisma, I like to say. Believe in yourself, believe in your faith and your abilities. It will show up. Without a doubt, confidence is absolutely necessary if you want to take any kind of quantum leap in your business, personal life, whatever you're doing. People are really just naturally drawn to confident people. Just think about some of those around you, some of the mentors you have, or some of the people that, have inspired you. What was it about them? What was it? That confidence factor. Those who look and really act in a way that you just like, wow, they're so sure of themselves. Well, there's something behind that. And it's not ego. It's really about learning our skills, studying, being a master of our craft. A lot of that confidence comes by just practicing over and over again, how to excel, how to have a mindset of abundance. All of it comes together in confidence. It's that support that's going to give you the courage to make the changes that you need. Again, like I said, every one of these steps could be an episode all of their own. Confidence is going to drive you to be that shining light. You know what I'm talking about? That shining light is it's gonna make people want to know who you are. Make your clients say, I want to spend more time with this person. Let me hear more. It leaves them wanting to understand because they feel comfortable, confident with you. Right? Confidence is that it factor. That's that step number 2. But it doesn't go without step number 3. Confidence is about belief. You have got to be able to believe in yourself. You've got to create that vision. This is going to give you the quantum leaps that you want to see. You've got to have the vision. To be a champion, you've got to believe in yourself. You've got to win. And sometimes it's when no one else will. You might be taking a whole other direction because you made that decision. And you may be taking a direction in your business or personal life that you're like, I believe this is going to be such a great move for me. I believe this is going to be such a great, action plan that I've got now to take my business to another level. You need to believe it first. Trust me, one of the things I was listening to by Tom Ferry, actually, just last week, they were talking about the whole NAR settlement and everything is when you're sitting down with your client and you're explaining and having them understand what it's all about. Sometimes their heads are going to start to spin off. There's just so much information right now. I'm sure you all get that. There's so much. And our job is to help them believe that we are going to guide them and navigate them through. They may not believe everything they're hearing yet, but they believe you believe it. And they know that you are just the right person to help them navigate through all these changes. So when you achieve a goal, that is when you're going to feel and start experiencing these quantum leaps. It all starts with that vision. If you want to end up in a different place, you've got to see it in your mind's eye first. We can think about it, but we really have to believe it. One of the steps you can do by doing, you can start by doing is visualizing. Visualization is hugely successful. Athletes do this all the time. When they're about to go compete, they are already consistently visualizing their end result. What is the goal that they want to achieve? What is, where are they wanting to go? And they visualize, they see themselves in the moment. They see themselves. Do you really understand how powerful that is? That's step number 3 is that belief. Visualizations, your ability to see your own success is absolutely imperative. All right. By the way, imagination is a muscle. Did you know that? Imagination is actually a muscle. And if you don't lose it or use it, you can lose it. Think about children. Children have huge imaginations, right? They're going to go to the moon, for goodness sakes, which, by the way, people have done, right? So problem is, as we grow older, we start getting pushed down by society, by, could be our families, could be our friends. Things just kind of keep falling by the wayside. And all of a sudden you're like, well, that's great for somebody else, but I just don't know if I can ever do that. We lose that imagination. And why is that, So take that on. That number 3 of belief is a real critical step. You have your quantum leaps in your life. Step number 4 is a little bit longer, but again, I'm going to hit this one out of the park with you guys. I want you to really listen in even closer. So throw the shoulder in, lean forward. Here we go. The secret ingredients to your success. Think about this. We all suffer one of 2 pains, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Jim Rohn once said this. He said, the pain of discipline really only just weighs ounces, but the pain of regret weighs tons. So what does that all mean? Well, listen, I just said, master your essential management skills. That's kind of a long phrase, right? Essential management skills. Well, what are those? Well, let me tell you. Managing your time, managing your emotions, managing money, and then managing your skill sets. Let me say it again. Essential management skills. Your time. Goodness, your time. My phone going off. I thought that I had that on. Okay. Your time, your emotions, your money, and your skills. These can either boost you up or they can push you down. Okay. When you're ready to make a quantum leap, you've got to have these 4 areas in control. So if you're not moving in the right direction as fast as you want to go, what's slowing you down? Is it time? Is it your emotions? Is it money? Or is it maybe your skill sets? Or maybe a combination of a couple of them? This is how we start to drill down, everybody, what's going on in your business and your personal life, whatever goals you're trying to reach. Sometimes people just walk around and just go, I'm not getting there. I don't know what to do, right? But you need to start asking better questions. Another topic on Agent Power Huddle, by the way, asking great questions. Drill it down. Well, what is it? Identify it. Is it time? Okay, time management. Let's talk about that. Sometimes we can become so overwhelmed. I talked about this earlier. You've got too many choices. You don't know what choice to make. You've got to make that decision. Are you following a schedule? Do you have a plan in action? There's lots of different techniques you can do for time management. There's the Pomodoro. We'll block in here somewhere, Pomodoro. If you're not sure about that, follow what the Pomodoro effect is, and how you could actually implement that to create more momentum in your business. You can make lists, whatever it works. Delegate your lowest things that aren't your highest money-making activities. Delegate them out to other people that will free up time for you to do what's most important, that's going to give you and get you to those quantum leaps. By the way, overwhelm can mean that you're actually growing. So overwhelm is not really a bad word, just so you know. Overwhelm means you're growing. You just can't let it get you becoming paralyzed, because overwhelm can also paralyze people. I'm sure somebody experienced this at some point. When you start changing the way you look at things, thinking, okay, I'm in overwhelm. I'm feeling okay, I know I'm growing because I'm trying and doing new things. I'm taking more risks, right? Taking more risks. So I'm feeling overwhelmed, but to get that quantum leap, what is it? Drill it down. Are you needing more time? Are you needing to control your emotions? Are you short money the budget to make things happen? Or maybe do you need some skills management on that action plan or what to do? You've got to make that decision to take the action. Your emotional management, that's a whole nother thing. Again, you can have all the best skill sets in the world. You can have the money to make it happen. You can, have the time that you're putting in, but all of a sudden you've got some stinking thinking going on up there, right? And your mindset has got to be, it's like, again, that muscle that we talk about, building that muscle day in and day out. You don't let it go. That emotional management, the self-talk that we tell ourselves every single day. And that's one of the reasons I love this Agent Power Huddle too. Log on, become part of this community, engage in it. Sometimes we all get mad now and again, right? We all get sad now and again. And the thing about this step here in your quantum leap is when it comes to emotional management, you see, I just didn't say emotions. I said emotional management. How quickly are you going to be able to get yourself back in check? It's okay to have these emotions and feelings. We understand that, acknowledge them, go through that, but don't let it continue day in and day out. Have you met people that, sometimes they're still talking about something that happened to them, a few months ago. We have responsibility at how we are going to manage that emotion. And if you stay living in that, you're not going to have any quantum leaps because it's holding you down. You could have all the money in the world. You could have some great skill sets. You could have a fabulous plan. You could have all the time to do it, but your focus is so on the negative that you're not able to move forward. Or you've got a rear view mirror, and instead of going forward to your dreams and your goals, you're looking in that rear view mirror, maybe just in past failures. Failures are only learning experiences. We talk about that all the time too, right? The most expensive party you're ever going to go to is what's called a pity party. Yeah, I'm getting some reaction. It's so true. A pity party, and think about it, maybe yourself, maybe other people around you, that will just drain that energy. You're draining it from yourself when you have these pity parties. I'm not saying brush them under the rug, acknowledge them and deal with them. How quickly can you get your emotions back in check? Money management, another skill, key skill here. We all want to increase our income. Sometimes some of us really absolutely have to. We're in a have to position. Make clear decisions on how you're going to be spending that money then, right? Are you working on any budgets or anything else? If you want to accomplish something in business, do you have a monthly expense that you are actually, really purposely putting towards that goal to move that forward? Pay attention to all these things. You can determine your level of risk. Some people are higher risk takers. I'm actually a pretty high risk taker. Other people may not be such a high risk taker. This can help you or it can actually hinder you. Maybe you might need somebody who's really good. They've got, you met those people. They just have the money management gene. My husband's one of them. He's great with all that. I mean, it's so much more purposeful. So that being said, though, sometimes you need to ask for help, because if you're not too sure how to do that budget, if you're not too sure where should you direct certain percentages of your income, that's created book with like, I haven't talked about this, but this is, see all my tabs in here. I've gone through it over and over and over again for years. But it has some excellent sections here on budgeting. So in your business, if you're not sure what percentile should go to your marketing expenses, for example, read that section, help you understand where you should budget in your business to help it go forward. Okay. So that's the money management part. And the last is the skill set management part. Skills are going to give you the edge and are often the determining difference. You can have all the money in the world. You can have all the time management going down. You've got, your emotional state is great, but you just don't know what the heck to do. And those are skills. And by the way, I just spoke at our board of realtors I was in a class with board of realtors on this one, and I stood up and spoke about it. It was amazing how many people came up to me after the class, because I said, it doesn't really matter right now, guys. Pay attention to this. How many years any of us have been in the business? We are all facing nationally with the NAR settlement. We are all on the same playing field right now. And what does that mean? We are all having to change our skill sets. We're having to up our level of understanding of the contracts, which I've always been a proponent for. We are always also having to increase our skills of confidence and increase our skills of presentation, right? Your skills management is a critical component. And so remember, we talked about drilling it down. If you have any roadblocks going on, find out which one these areas you're falling into, and now you know what to do to attack it. Some of the most talented, successful people will master their skill sets. Actually, all of them will. Okay? Hard work, discipline, practicing over and over and over again, determination for growth, be learning based. Your proficiency can give you a foundation there. That's going to give you the great confidence and create those quantum leaps that we're talking about. Okay, number 5 is goals. Shouldn't surprise you. Our goals are only, can only be reached if we have something called a plan. So we're having to look over on a screen over here. Okay, so your goals can only be reached with a vehicle called a plan. We must absolutely believe in our plan if we want to achieve these goals. We've got to vigorously act on them. Take massive action. You've heard me say that if you've listened to any of my Agent Power Huddles, it seems to be a constant thread. Take massive action. All right? Goals are the favorite thing of ambitious people. They really, really are. Just give me that target. Remember, we talked about this too. We think about that, pulling that arrow back. Give me that target, right? And watch me hit that bullseye. And by the way, we don't always hit it on the first time, do we? And if you don't, you're going to be relentless at going after it over and over again until you sharpen that skill, to pull that arrow back, and bam, hit that target. When it comes to goals, there is something that that needs to happen. Goals should be SMART goals. You may have heard this before. SMART goals that's an acronym: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. Set the time bound. When do you want to achieve them by? Not just someday, because they'll never show up. Tony Robbins always says, make them a must. What you make a must will happen. What you say you should happen will never happen. Your musts will happen. Okay? Number 6, step 6 here in your quantum leap is about image. Now, Image. Is it the way your hair is done? Is it your makeup? Is it your clothing? Is it what you drive? Well, all those things fall into image, but it's much deeper than that. Now, when you take care of yourself and you do present yourself in all those ways, by the way, it makes you feel better and it gives you more energy. And quite frankly, it does make an impact. That's not just what I'm talking about. People, 7 seconds, that's all you have. That's how long it takes to make a first impression. So you better make it count, right? So those things do matter, right? You're not going to show up on a listing appointment in sweats. Sorry, you shouldn't. Am I being judgmental when I say that? I'm trying to help you with your business. It's sad to say, but it's very true. And quite frankly, I think I touched on that. I just said, when you are feeling your best, your energy comes up, right? You're performing at that best. Okay, it all comes together in the mindset too, but I want to talk to you about something a little bit different on image. All right. Have you ever been somewhere and you talk to somebody, maybe just for a few minutes, and then that person leaves, and you're like, oh my gosh, it was such a great conversation. They made me feel so good. What was it about that person? Having that conversation made you feel good, right? What about when you meet somebody, or maybe you've met them before and they come back and they say, oh my gosh, hi, Diana. It's great to see you again. That person remembered my name. How special does that make you feel? What do you think about that person when they remember who you are? It makes a difference. These things all come into image. Dr. Maya Angelou said, people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never, ever forget how you made them feel. That's part of image too. Think about how you're making other people feel and remembering their names. Your image can also have a tremendous effect on, like I said, how you feel. So these things will actually turn into confidence when you're feeling good and strong. You're feeling like you're good. Hey, part of it is that, especially think about when you're even newer, and you're showing up and you do feel good about how you look, and you have been working on your skill sets and everything we've been talking about here. And you know what? You're going to be stepping it up a level because you've stepped into visually and physically into where you want to be and where you want to go. Step number 7 is passion. Oh gosh, I have done a whole other episode on this. Ignite the flame of success. Passion is energy. Feel the power of focusing on what really excites you. There cannot be a quantum leap without passion behind it. Remember that. Without passion, you're not creating any new ideas. Without passion, you're not creating the energy that you need. You're not really feeling the joy in what you're doing. You've got to love what you're doing. Passion changes everything. It's going to get you through, and it's going to make you experience that quantum leap. When you're having passion for what you're doing and you're putting all these other things we're talking about into play, folks, you are in a quantum leap. That really is what it comes down to. Your passion is going to bring out the very best in you. And it's going to you should reignite that over and over and over again. Number 8 is, we have a few minutes left, so I'm going to kind of speed this up here. But number 8 is discipline and hustle. We talked about discipline a little bit earlier, but, most people feel like discipline is a bad word. Well, those of us who are, real drivers, we love that word. We love that word, discipline. It means freedom to us. When you're disciplined and getting what you needed done, it means freedom, right? So discipline and hustle make things happen. It does. Discipline is the bridge between the goal, right, and the accomplishment. That's discipline. It's from Jim Rohn, by the way. You can't have a quantum leap without having that discipline. It just doesn't happen. All right. Discipline doesn't just show up because you decided to do something. You must exercise those muscles, exercise the discipline. Start with small steps. Use, the Tony Robbins RPM program, results, purpose, and massive action. Use those kind of things. But what about hustle? What's the hustle then? If you got the discipline, what's the hustle? Hustle is being willing and capable and available to do whatever it takes, right? We talked about that arrow and shooting out and getting that bullseye. And what if you miss the bullseye? Do you have the hustle to do it again, to try something different? Maybe you need to take a different angle to getting that same goal to be hit. Maybe you need to step back a few feet or lean in a little bit more. Step a few feet forward. What's it going to take? The hustle is whatever it takes. And folks, that very often can be the difference between somebody who reaches their goal and somebody who doesn't, by the way, is that hustle. Yeah, for a fact. I mean, I joke sometimes as I say, good morning, Monday morning, welcome hustlers and huddlers. That's what I mean. Those of you who are on these calls I would bet money on the fact that, and it's in my budget, that you are hustlers, right? Because we take this action. By the way, the passion is the push behind the hustle. Okay. See how all these things will be, these are how you do the quantum leaps. You can every day say, I want to take a quantum leap in my business and really not even know yourself what that means. Now you know what it all means, right? Go after that dream with all of your might. Step number 9 is turbocharge with great people and leadership skills. We just talked about that a little bit in image. Most important ingredient in the formula is just knowing how to get along with people. I was at a mastermind group last week and we were talking about this, how sometimes you get into a deal with another agent and it's weird. It's like they think they're against you, right? And some of the best agents in this business know that we're not fighting against each other. We all want the same end result. Yes, we have fiduciary, we have responsibilities to each one of our clients, but the best agents understand that what we're trying to do is making sure that we limit the emotions, that we pull everybody together and we move together through the end zone, right? Getting along with people is absolutely critical to any successful business person and any person in general in life. These episodes are not just for real estate agents. Share them with your friends. Share them with people who might also, you want to help in their own lives. All right. So no matter what even technology is, we can have all the advanced technology in the world, but at the end of the day, it's the people who are the driving force that get the things accomplished. Improve your people skills and you will make great strides in quantum leap. I love this too. Pretend everyone you meet have a little sign around their neck. Okay. Everybody you meet has a sign around their neck. And here's what it says. It says, make me feel it. Yeah, you meet somebody and visualize, make me feel important. Ask about them. Don't just sit there and wander off everything about you. Make them feel important. Big one, right? Number 10, we're going to wrap it up here on Agent Power Huddle. We only have 2 minutes left. But number 10, this is just about putting it all together. Sometimes it requires step number 10 to do that. And that is making some short-term sacrifices. Give up some of the distractions in your life. Sometimes a lot of us like to say yes to everything. We want to go to every event that there is. We want to be involved in everything, and the thing is sometimes you have to say no. You've got to limit some distractions. If there are people in your life, they may be friends, they may be family, and you can still love them, but sometimes you might need to limit a little of the time because they're draining so much from you because maybe they're on a negative spiral and you want to help. Put them into this Age of Power Huddle will be a good help. Because this is about mindset, not just about real estate, right? You've got to limit some of those distractions to get your job done. And you've got to make yourself and your business and your personal and your family more important sometimes in the sense that you've got to sacrifice certain things and make some short-term sacrifices to be able to get these quantum leaps. Understand that when a goal seems too large or it may be overwhelming, Tony Robbins often talks about something called the power of chunking. How do you move a mountain? One scoop at a time. All right. So that's how you want to attack this. Make some short-term sacrifices. Get the clarity you need. Put all these steps into play and into practice. Identify, where you need help in your skill sets, in your emotions, in your money, in your time. Identify those things. Bring them together. And folks, that is how you're going to make these quantum leaps to help you absolutely soar. It's been a pleasure leading you again today on Agent Power Huddle. I really hope you listen back to this episode and share it with friends. We have such amazing leaders all throughout the week, every Monday through Friday, 8 to 8:30 in the morning Pacific time. You can see us. If you miss the episodes, go to YouTube, check them out. You can get them on podcasts, but I listen to them all the time, and we have so much to learn from each other to help each one of us grow. Thanks for coming in today, everybody, and have a wonderful week. Take care.
If you'd like more information or to get connected to the Agent Power Huddle, join our free Facebook group. This call was designed for the agents in our EXP organization, but open to any agent from any brokerage. If you're a guest and you're interested in learning more about EXP or our specific resources within the Agent Collective, reach out to the person who invited you to this call to get more info. Produced by the Agent Collective Media Network.